Oh man. Hey, so good to see you. Hey, where to go? This one goes pretty hard. Welcome. Happy Daylight Savings Day. Oh, luckily I'm so exhausted that it didn't affect me that much this year because I was already tired. I beat Daylight Savings to it. Oh, okay. All right. Let's hop into it here. Crimson Diamond, Part 7, 7 hours, 23 minutes in, 5 deaths so far. Like, 2 or 3 unique deaths, I think, so far in this. Apparently there's 8, so we still have a few more to get to. We are in Chapter 5, I think, and are investigating the disappearance of the owner of the lodge that we're staying at. He was drinking down by the river, and then he appeared to have been dragged off by multiple assailants, and we're trying to figure out, by piecing together some clues to figure out who did it and why. And I'm pretty sure I'm towards the end of the investigation for that, but I'm missing like one thing probably, because the game says that I can talk to an NPC to advance things, but then it won't actually let me talk to that NPC to advance things. So I don't know. We'll see if I can figure it out. Hey, Aiden. Hey, Shantok. Welcome. All right, let's hop on over to this. All right. All right, Crimson Diamond. We're on chapter 5. More to do. So the tracks for the guy getting dragged go into here. Appreciated. And was it size check? I need to figure out whose shoe made the shoe print on the jetty. Whose shoe prints are in the woods to the north of the jetty. Mr. Richards is size 12, didn't make the shoe prints. Shoe prints on the jetty came from size 14 feet. Jack's are 12. I didn't know Jack didn't make it, but who did? Who knows what size Nessa's feet are under that long skirt? I'll need to investigate. So Nessa's feet, the older woman, I have not figured out a way to ascertain her shoe size yet. That's probably the one thing I need to do in order to advance past this. Kimi wears size 6.5. She wasn't involved. What a relief. Sure. Corvus wears size 14. He could be involved, but I can't say for certain until I learn everyone else's shoe sizes. Albert and Mr. Richards have the same shoe size. Neither of them could have made the footprints. Nathan's feet are size 16. Relieved that he doesn't appear to be involved. And then that's it. I forgot what the other command was. So that was check size, and then there's what, notes? Ask Albert about kit. Okay, can we go all the way to the bottom of this? Ranger. Okay, there's also the Ranger. Richards didn't fall into the jetty. Ranger Murdoch trying to get in the blue trunk. Yeah. Examine fingerprints on the decanter. Okay, I guess I need to look at the decanter again. Okay, so at some point it was giving me the it was prints. Check prints. Complete collection of fingerprints. You revealed a fingerprint on the drinking glass. Fingerprint belongs to Mr. Richards. 2 fingerprints on the decanter. Why did it not give me... One of those belongs to Evan, the other to Nessa. Okay, so if I check notes again. So I wonder why there isn't an X here on examine fingerprints on the decanter. Because I clearly have done that. I don't know. I don't know what the logic here is between some of these having an X and some of them not. I guess it's probably because I haven't used the note function for most of the game. Report your findings to Nathan in Smokehouse. Thoroughly investigate the jetty and smokehouse areas and report findings to Nathan. It's footprints. Look at shoe prints. Shoe prints on the dirt path leading to Smokehouse. Shoe prints look larger than size 12. I should take a closer look. Okay. Examine shoe prints. Shoe prints came from size 14 and size 8. Okay. Somewhere in size 14 made the shoe print. Satisfied with investigation. Okay, I'm satisfied with my investigation so far. It's time to go inside and share what I've learned with Nathan. Nathan is inside this little shack right here. So we're going to go in here. Oh, Nancy, I'm busy. Please step outside. Nathan's frantically rummaging in the smokehouse. Nathan, where's Mr. Richards? What happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. If you don't have any helpful information, please leave me to figure this out. Oh, of course. And then she leaves. But on one hand, I'm relieved that I didn't stumble on anything ghastly. On the other, where's Mr. Richards and what happened to him? I like to come to some conclusions and present them to Nathan. Maybe then he'll let me in the smokehouse and I can continue my investigation. Mr. Richards seems to have been dragged into the smokehouse, though I'm not sure why. I need to learn everyone's shoe sizes before I can make definitive conclusions about who was involved. But I need to connect the evidence outside the smokehouse of the incident at the jetty. I should go back to the jetty and take a closer look. I'm pretty sure I just played the cutscene again if I do this. Oh, I'm busy, frantically rummaging. What happened? No information. Oh, of course. So yeah, it's the same. It's the same thing, and then it gives me the same prompts here. So I'm pretty sure, though, the one thing that I'm missing is Nessa's shoe size. I think that's probably the one thing that will kind of tie this all together. Except the problem is, I don't know how the hell I'm going to get Nessa's shoe size. Like, I wonder if I have to, like, get her drunk or something, and then just look from there, because... Alright, well, I guess step one is find Nessa. I don't know if we could be that direct in this. Well, first of all, I don't even know where she went. Not in there. Nobody here. Not there. Is this the study? Oh, somebody went through the desk. Okay, I haven't been in here. Contents of the desk have been strewn all over the carpeted floor. At a glance, the papers are old guest receipts from the lodge's glory days, as well as some general bookkeeping. Someone has inconsiderately stepped on some of the papers, too. What a mess. Examine papers. Someone has stepped on the documents scattered over the lush carpet and has created very clear imprints of their shoes. Oh? Ah! I already know Kimia's shoe size, so this shoe print must belong to Nessa. Okay. These shoe prints definitely came from a woman's shoes, judging from the heel, and none of the men have feet nearly this small. I'd say these shoe prints are a size 8. Okay, there we... I somehow stumbled upon this. I swear I didn't look this up. I did not look this up. Alright, Nessa's shoe print matches one of the shoe prints I found outside the smokehouse. Now that I've collected all the shoe sizes of everyone in the lodge who could have made these shoe prints out by the smokehouse, I can definitively say that Nessa had something to do with her brother's disappearance. Fantastic. I've gotten everyone's shoe sizes. Corvus wears size 14. He was involved in the altercation at the jetty. Nessa and Corvus' shoe prints were found leading away from the jetty. Not to mention their shoe prints are all around the smokehouse. According to what I've deduced, Nessa and Corvus attacked Mr. Richards, the jetty, and dragged him into the smokehouse. All right, this is making a note here. This is here. I'll take a screenshot of this. We got a bug report to file right here. There we go. That is a typo. Where is? Uh-oh. I minimized. Okay. I maximized YouTube or maximized OBS and it screwed up all my windows. Great. Okay. Shoe prints are all over the jetty and leading to the smokehouse. The scuff marks I found came from rubber-soled shoes of the kind that Mr. Richards wears. No one else at the lodge wears shoes or boots with rubber soles. Some of Nessa's hair was caught in a tree between the jetty and the smokehouse. That's definitely unusual. Nessa and Corvus were discussing something about a will, but whose? Oh, but I remember overhearing a conversation between them about looking for Evans and Nessa's father's will. I know, right? Like, I guess this is like the scientist in her, probably, of like, you could guess, you could infer, but then having hard data, especially if you're making an accusation of, hey, you just murdered somebody or kidnapped somebody, right? Like having the solid data is probably better than just throwing out accusations, right? But I know that their father didn't leave behind a will. Uh-oh. Could Nessa and Corvus be writing their own will and trying to force Evan to sign it? But how would that be of any help to them? Unless... Uh-oh. I'm satisfied with my investigation so far. It's time to go inside the smokehouse and share what I've learned with Nathan. Upon closer inspection, you think you can barely discern a couple of oily spots on one of the papers. Dust papers. Though you're reluctant to soil the papers with soot, you decide the situation merits it. After carefully applying a bit of soot, you find, I found a couple of distinct fingerprints. Aha! You've uncovered a couple of fingerprints on one of the papers. Lift prints from paper. You tear off 2 pieces of tape and gently press them onto the powdered fingerprints. Fingerprints. Drinking glass, decanter, yep. Glass jars, Nessa. You conclude... One of the fingerprints I lifted from the documents in the study belongs to Mr. Richards, which is as it should be, but the other fingerprint belongs to Nessa. All right. Okay, so that's probably another definitive thing that we needed here. There's something smoking in the fireplace. Look, fireplace? Fireplace's legs and header are carved with simple linear flourishes. You imagine it provides invaluable heat during the long winter months. You see a length of telegraph tape smoking in the fireplace. There's some powdery soot accumulating in the fireplace. Get tape. And carefully pick up the telegraph tape. Most of the telegraph tape has been consumed by fire, and you can barely make out some words. Bridge, bomb, sabotage, await. Despite your careful handling of the telegraph tape, it crumbles into ash. Uh-oh. Okay. So that must have been that message that we got. Or, what's his name got? When he went down to the train station? Huh. Okay. Let me check the trash can. Just in case there's anything in there. Nothing in there. Okay. All right. So now I think we're good to go report to Nathan and advance the plot here. All right. And then just in case this is danger, we'll do that. All right. Nathan, I have a theory about what's happened to Evan. I'm listening. There are shoe prints all over the jetty leading into the smokehouse. Yes, I saw those, but I have no idea who those could belong to. I do. I did a bit of detective work and learned the shoe sizes of everyone in the lodge. You did? I certainly did. And according to my findings, I've concluded that Nessa and Corvus dragged Mr. Richards off the jetty and into the smokehouse. That makes a lot of sense to me, Nancy, but where is he now? That's what we need to find out. You're absolutely right about that. Please let me take a look in here and see what I can find. You've done very well, Nancy. Maybe you can figure out where Evan is now. So far, I've come up empty-handed. Thanks, Nathan. I'll try not to let you down. If you find anything of significance, let me know as soon as possible. Will do. Oh, one more thing. Yes, Nancy. Nessa seems to be desperately looking for something. I'm not sure what. The will. She's looking for the will. Why not just tell him? She's made a mess of the study. There's papers all over. I think it has something to do with a will. So she does know what she's looking for. I heard them talking about it in the parlor last night. A will? Come to think of it, they were discussing Evan's and Nessa's father's will. That was after dinner yesterday. Mr. Richards Sr. didn't leave a will, I know that. Which means Nessa and Corvus aren't trying to get him to reveal its location. I think that they want even more than that. What if Nessa and Corvus intend on creating a new will, but it's Evan's? To ensure Nessa will inherit the lodge and land after he dies? I need to go talk to Jack about all this. Meet us in the study when you're finished here. You can tell us all about this AirSat's will in the mineralogical report then. Good luck, Nancy. Good luck to you too. Okay, what have we here? Alright, so we can finally look at this. When I leave, there's no telling who could come in here and tamper at the scene inside. I don't think I'm quite done with my investigation here. I should investigate the smokehouse more closely. Maybe I should take a closer look at the floor. I was just trying to move over to where the pot was, and the game assumed that I was leaving. The wall, okay, the pot, the wall. I know, right? It's a fancy word. Need a way to tie Nessa or Corvus to the scene. Finding fingerprints would be great. Aren't many smooth surfaces. Okay. So the pot. Large pot, probably used for some stage of food prep. You're not knowledgeable in the processes. Examine pot. Large pot doesn't benefit from closer investigation. So why did she... Maybe it's a... Look at floor. See tiny glittery specks on the floor of the smokehouse. You can barely make out some yellow fibers on the floor of the smokehouse. Do I see some crumbs? So we got specks, we have yellow fibers and crumbs. Examine fibers. Fibers have come off from a woven hempen rope, probably due to friction. Could it be that Mr. Richards was tied up here in the smokehouse? Uh-oh. Get fibers. You decide the frayed rope fibers aren't worth taking. Sparkles. Little specks could be salt. Their proximity to the bag of rock salt increases the plausibility of this observation. Examine salt. As expected, the rock salt is composed of irregularly shaped crystals, but are generally cubic in shape. They are whitish to colorless. Some of the crystals appear irregularly shaped, more octahedral than cubic, but salt is fairly brittle and is water soluble, so they can be just about any shape. Okay. At wall. Rough stone walls of the smokehouse, much like the floor, have been blackened by smoke. You can just barely make out a symbol low on the wall and under the table. What could that be? Look at symbol. Appears to be some sort of symbol sloppily painted on the wall under the table. I'm not surprised Nathan missed that. If I was just a bit taller, I wouldn't have seen it myself. Examine symbol. The symbol appears to be a circle within a circle. The smaller circle is copiously filled in with red substance. Uh-oh. I wonder what the symbol is painted with. It's definitely not paint. It's sticky, drippy red, and a bit chunky. Eek. Lick symbol. Oh my god, she's gonna do it. Seriously questioning your own judgment, you crane your neck towards the wall and stare at your tongue. I didn't think this will work. You gingerly touch the tip of your tongue to the smokehouse wall. Alright. Alright. Nancy Maple's getting a little freaky here in the smokehouse. Alright. Oh, tastes like raspberry jam. All right. This so she's okay with getting the duck whistle from a rotting log filled with ants and bugs and garbage and just immediately putting it in her mouth. She's okay with licking the wall of an old smokehouse. Like this is my kind of gal right here. Yeah, Laura Bow would never. Look at table. Table is clearly used to prepare the meat before it's preserved. Countless cuts and scratches mark its surface, and it's stained by blood and ash. Colorful shards and debris cover the table. Examine shards. Inspecting the Jordan almond fragments through your loop, you can see conchoidal fractures in the candy shell that remind you of the sharpest obsidian. Shiny like obsidian too. Eek. Okay, get shard. You remove some of the Jordan almond fragments from the table, taking great care not to pierce your skin on the jagged pieces. Hey, Chargy. Okay, so that's jagged fragments of Jordan almonds found in the smokehouse, wickedly sharp. So the almonds, handful of Jordan almonds, colorful, harder than most rocks you've studied. I think Nessa's the one who had those almonds up in her room, I want to say. Examine barrel. Look barrel. Might be a pickle barrel or a barrel for salted meat. Open barrel? Can't pry it open with your bare hands. There's no need for me to open it. Okay. Look in bag. Sorry, you can't do it. Look at bag. Bag of salt has been opened, revealing the coarse rock salt inside. Close bag. Oh. Close the rock salt bag. Bag of salt. Hold it on top. Some lettering printed on it. Okay. Look at meat. Meat and fish look delectable. Your mouth waters. Get meat. Temptation to take the meat and snack on it constantly is very strong. You overcome it. That might be fish on the back wall. Meat and fish looks delectable. Get fish. Okay. That's probably it for everything here. There's the symbol under the table. Let me look at the floor again. Specs on the floor. Yellow fibers, crumbs. Okay. Examine crumbs. With the aid of the loop, you conclude that the crumbs are probably from the thumbprint cookies you saw Jack baking earlier. I can even see that some of the crumbs have bright red raspberry jam on them. Who would bring thumbprint cookies into the smokehouse? Well, the one person that really loved them was Albert. And I guess Jack was also kind of eating them too, though he's the one who made them. But it was mostly Albert was the person who really, really liked the cookies. Well, the crumbs seem relevant. You don't want them in your pocket. So Nancy Maple will carry around literal garbage and soot in her pocket, but she won't take evidence. Some crumbs is like just very weird standards Miss Maple has here. There are bits of jam on them too, sticky and itchy. No thanks. All right, okay, Maple. Name and floor. Yellow fibers. Okay, that's different from... Oh, crumbs of cookies. Interesting. So that just examines everything. I'll look at floor again. Glittery specks on the floor. Yellow fibers. Crumbs. Little specks could be salt. Okay. When I leave, there's no telling who could come and tamper at the scene. I don't think I'm quite done with my investigation here. I should investigate the inside of the smokehouse more closely. Need a way to tie Nessa and Corvus to the scene. Finding fingerprints would be great. Not many smooth surfaces. Okay. Dust. Bag. Won't be useful. Dust. Table. Won't be useful. Dust pot. Large pot already blackened and caked with ash from years of smoking meat. Trying to acquire prints from it would be fruitless. It was a good thought, though. Okay, sure. Dust wall. Dust meat. Dust barrel. Examine prints. Dust almonds. You carefully dust the Jordan almond fragments for fingerprints, and amazingly, you're able to recover a partial fingerprint from one of the larger pieces of Jordan almond. Okay, here we go. Get prints from almond. Carefully apply tape on the jagged almond. You mark the back of the fingerprint as evidence taken from shattered Jordan almonds found in the smokehouse. Compare prints. Examine the fingerprint you revealed in the smokehouse. Compare it to your collection of fingerprints. After comparing the partial fingerprint you obtained from the almond pieces, you conclude Nessa is the one who crushed these Jordan almonds in the smokehouse. Aha, I think I figured it out. Nessa crushed the Jordan almonds on the table, but why, I have no idea. Are Jordan almonds particularly dangerous to anyone in the lodge? I should ask around. Judging from the frayed rope fibers, Mr. Richards could have been tied up in the smokehouse after he disappeared from the jetty. I wonder if Mr. Evans has, or Mr. Evan Richards has a nut allergy or something, if he's allergic to almonds. So maybe they brought him into the smokehouse, tied him up, crushed up the almonds, and then force-fed him to him to trigger a allergic reaction. I think Mr. Richards partially freed himself and painted a symbol with raspberry jam. That's a big leap, but okay. He took care to conceal the symbol under the table. It could indicate where he was taken next. The symbol looks like the thumbprint cookies that I saw Jack baking, and their middles were filled with raspberry jam. Okay, this is a lot of logical leaps here, but okay. Hey, boys. I remember Jack saying that Mr. Richards likes to stash the cookies in his pockets. Okay. And I did find cookie crumbs on the floor of the smokehouse. The symbol on the wall of the smokehouse is clearly made out of Jack's thumbprint cookies. Is it? Okay. There are cookie crumbs all over the floor, and the jam is definitely Jack's raspberry jam. Maybe Jack or someone else would know what the symbol means. I should ask around. I should talk to Nathan and Jack about all this. Okay. I don't know about some of these logical leaps, but sure. Sure, fine. It feels like she's not going from point A to B to C. It's like she's going from point A to point F in some of these deductions. Okay, so I think they said they were going to be in the study. I'm just making sure there's no eavesdropping opportunities. Talk to Nathan. Please, Nancy, we need to figure out where Evan was taken. If you have any ideas, I'm all ears. I have my theory about what happened in the smokehouse, but I still don't know where Mr. Richards was taken. I need to find out what the symbol in the smokehouse could mean. I should ask someone. Ask about symbol. Jack, I saw a strange symbol in the smokehouse. I think Mr. Richards is kept there for a bit before being moved somewhere else. I was hoping you'd know what the symbol means. It's a circle within a circle. The innermost circle is filled with red. Red? You mean like blood? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. The red color is actually raspberry jam. Well, why didn't you say so? Woo! The symbol is painted with raspberry jam and is kind of round. Reminds me of the thumbprint cookies I bake for Mr. Richards. He can never remember the Swedish name for him. Hallangrata. It means raspberry cave. Raspberry cave? Like a mine? Like a garnet mine? Uh-oh. Now I know. There's apparently a garnet mine somewhere. Okay. Hallangrata means a raspberry cave. Could it be the garnet mines? Talk to Jack. You breathlessly tell Nathan and Jack your theory about what happened in the smokehouse, ending with your belief that Mr. Richards was taken to the garnet mines. You think Mr. Richards was taken to the garnet mines? Those have been sealed shut for decades, which makes them a perfect place to hide someone. Uh-oh. We should drive out there and check just in case. I agree. It'll take some time to prep the automobile to the carriage house. I'll meet you there. I'm going to fetch Ranger Murdoch. I feel like Ranger Murdoch might be in on this, but okay. They put here in the lodge, Nancy, in case Mr. Richards comes back. It's kind of crazy that they're not going to bring the one person who figured out what's going on here to the mine. Well, I'm certainly not going to just wait around here. I'll convince Jack and Nathan to take me with them. They need all the help they can get. But before I head out, should I check in with the other folks in the lodge? Okay. I guess I probably should. If she mentions it. Alright. Where's everybody else? I'm assuming everybody else is up in their rooms. So I still got something that's bothered me a little bit here is that I have this key, small silver key. I'm not sure what that's for. Like, it might be for Margot's storage box. I don't know what specific word for it. Jewelry box in Margot's room. Alright, so this is the Ranger. Jack has set up a spare Ranger makeshift bedroom for Ranger Murdoch, but he's not here. The shower is still on, thankfully. Oh! The big blue trunk's lid is up and the padlock hadn't open. I wonder what was stored in here. Interesting. Okay, so the last time I came in here, the Ranger Murdoch was trying to open up this trunk, which it's now open. Look in trunk. You peer into the blue trunk. There are some old threadbare linens lining the interior and obscuring the trunk's bottom. But by methodically feeling around inside, you discover a bullet and a blasting cap. My father was in construction. I know a blasting cap when I see one, but why would Albert put these in there? Jack let Albert store his things in this trunk. He wanted to lock this all away. The same as how he demanded to stay in Jack's room, the only bedroom with a lock. Seems like Albert was concerned about keeping his secrets. And he's armed? Uh-oh. Okay. Examine bullet. You examine the bullet through the loop, but you don't know enough about bullets to glean any more information. Examine blasting cap. The maker's mark is imprinted on the tin. You recognize the brand as one that is commonly used in Tirana. My father was in construction, so I know what these look like. Kids would sometimes play with them. Not me, but other kids. It's likely Albert purchased these blasting caps in Canada. They tend not to get shipped overseas because they're fairly hazardous materials. Though it's hard to tell with the design printed on the lid, you think you can see an oily smudge. Dust cap. Get blasting cap. We take the blasting cap. There. Get bullet. We take that too. Take the bullet. Okay. Dust cap. You revealed a fingerprint on the blasting cap's tin. Aha. Lift Print from Cap. Tandablasting caps of the fingerprint might prove useful pieces of evidence. I can submit this to the authorities as it is. No need to lift the fingerprint. Okay. Can we dust the bullet? Soot slips off the bullet's smooth metal casing. It was a good thought. Well done. I got points for trying. Okay. That is not consistent with the rest of the game, but okay. Can we dust the trunk? Unfortunately, it doesn't accomplish anything. Okay. Probably nothing else to do here. I know that there's buckets of paint here that probably have a use for something, but maybe I should take a closer look at Albert's room. Okay. I guess I will. That door's closed. That's Nessa and Corvus's room. Or I guess Nessa's room. What happened here? Albert's room is a mess. Clothes are hanging haphazardly in the wardrobe. The wastepaper basket is stuffed full of papers. And all of his luggage is gone. It looks like there's something under the bed, too. It does look like something's under there. Is it Albert? A cylinder wrapped in red paper is partly concealed under the bed. I wonder what this could be. Get cylinder. Oh. You reach down to retrieve the red cylinder from Albert's bed. Uh-oh! Is this dynamite? It looks like a stick of dynamite. Yep, it's a stick of dynamite. Looking at it makes you sweat. Dynamite is not a standard piece of mineralogical equipment. Albert stored blasting caps in the blue trunk and dynamite in his luggage, it seems. I'm starting to think he's not a mineralogist at all. Okay. Dust dynamite. Paper casing of the dynamite has some fairly faint oily marks, but its surface is too absorbent for clear fingerprints. It was worth a try. Am I going to get points for this? I did. Okay. Look in trash. You can see some crumpled papers in the wastepaper basket. They don't appear to have anything written on them. There's a strip of telegraph tape lying just outside the wastepaper basket on the carpeted floor. Get tape. Pick up the strip of telegraph paper. Read tape. Telegraph tape reads as follows. Carl L. Proceed to Sue Locks with package. Deliver package by 3 a.m. Await further instructions. Well done in crimson. Well done in crimson? What could that mean? And who on earth is Carl L? Okay. So maybe Albert's the one that blew up the bridge, because that's something that happened. Look at book. Geology looks good as new. Okay. Almost like the spines of these books haven't even been cracked. Spines aren't broken, and the cover shows no signs of wear. These books are in pristine condition. I guess Albert takes really good care of his books. Alright. Wardrobe still has some clothes sloppily draped on some hangers. Dust closet. Okay. That's probably it for here. I think I'm getting a picture here. Albert isn't who he says he is. I believe he's headed to the Sioux Locks to sabotage them with explosives. I found a bullet and blasting caps in the blue trunk. Albert is probably armed and is fairly well acquainted with how to use explosives, seeing as he knew to store his dynamite and blasting caps separately. This doesn't bode well. And I think he tossed my luggage out of the train to eliminate my field kit, so I couldn't interfere with his sham field work. I need to head to the carriage house and tell Jack, Nathan, and Ranger Murdoch. Alright, but first. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Is Kimi in here? Alright, Kimi's sleeping. Kimi mutters something in her sleep. It sounds like, "Hello, duckies," followed by soft quacking noises. Kimi has settled into a deep sleep. You hope she rests well. Kimi is asleep. You can't talk to her right now. Alright, fine. Okay, Kimi. Probably. You can't know for sure, though. So the jewelry box. Margot told me that Nessa's ruby brooch is hidden somewhere in here. Nessa tore this room apart looking for it. Wonder if it's still here. It's been added. Okay. So we have that little key. Look at bench. Like maybe the bench has a hidden compartment for a key. Bench is elaborately carved and sumptuously upholstered in striped velvet. Use key in bench. Unlock bench with key. Let's see. Look in closet. You wrap your knuckles lightly on the walls of the wardrobe, listening for hollow sounds that would indicate hidden compartments. Nothing hidden in here. Close closet. Get hanger. Okay, there's clearly one on the floor, but alright. Look at hat. Margot's hat collection makes you a bit envious. The colors and styles are the very latest you've seen in shop windows in downtown Tirana. You see a yellow hat, green hat, blue hat, and a teal hat. A couple of hats look like they've been hurriedly inspected by Nessa, judging from their slightly askew appearances. Alright. Look at shoes. Most of the shoes on the shelf are high, pointy, and impractical. The lower shelf, however, does hold some boots. Look at boots. A row of boots are on the lowest shelf. They are leather and look more suitable to tramping around the woods, although you note that Margot couldn't resist a slight heel on all of them. Look at mirror. Full-length mirror with the silver frame. It must have cost a pretty penny. Fine selection of shoes in many shapes and colors are displayed on the shelves. I'm not sure what these are down at the bottom of the screen. Walk-in closet in disarray. Shoes scattered on the floor. Clothes have been pulled out their hangers. These chests. Couple of lovely purses under the dresses. They're practically works of art. You take the green hat down from the shelf, mannequin head and all. The green hat is a lot like yours, except newer and made of finer wool. You can see why Nessa didn't bother inspecting all the hats. They're up high and hard to reach, and the mannequin heads are surprisingly solid and heavy, not hollow, leaving no room for hidden items. But what about the other hats, though? You take down the yellow hat, head and all. You take a close look at the yellow hat, admiring the quality workmanship. Maybe one day you'll own a hat as fine as this. Mannequin heads made of painted hardwoods. The brooch couldn't be stuck inside them to conceal it. Merely shaking the mannequin head is all that would be required to check if the brooch is balanced under one of the heads. Alright, it's probably under the last head that you look at. Take the blue hat down from the shelf. The red silk rose of the blue hat is exquisite. The stitching is minute and even. Your arms are starting to ache from straining them to their limits to reach the hats. You wonder if your efforts will prove fruitful. You're starting to doubt it. Well, the fact that the game goes out of its way to say that means it's probably right here. You take the teal hat down from the shelf, mannequin head and all. The bright teal color of the hat isn't faded in the slightest. The underside of the brim is the same gorgeous hue. With a grunt of effort, you wrest the last mannequin head down from the shelf and examine the hat closely. Oh! Pinned to the inside of the last hat you inspect, you find Nessa's ruby brooch. Margot has cleverly concealed the pinned part of the brooch between the hat and its band. You carefully unpin the ruby brooch from the hat before returning the mannequin head and hat to the top of the shelf. I'm glad I found it, but what do I do with it now? I guess I better find Nessa and give it back. Well, alright. Sure. Look at brooch. The fancy ruby brooch with an intricate gold setting. Rubies have a Mohs hardness of 9, one of the hardest minerals around. Alright, so we're back to actual geology stuff. Besides diamonds, of course. Use brooch on plate. Test brooch on plate. Rub brooch on plate. While you're reluctant to potentially damage Nessa's ruby brooch, I know, right? You reason that if it's indeed a ruby, you wouldn't be damaging it at all. Because rubies are harder than unglazed porcelain, they would scratch the streak plate, not the other way around. Hey, hello. It's going great. Hopefully for you as well. I'll try it in an inconspicuous place at least. You perform the streak test as carefully as you can, though with this procedure, a rather firm hand is required. The ruby in Nessa's brooch easily scratches the streak plate. Ooh, I guess it is a ruby after all. When a specimen is harder than the streak plate, which is a Mohs hardness of 7, it is said to no streak or a colorless streak. Rubies have a Mohs hardness of 9, much harder than streak plates. The only harder gem is diamond, which has a Mohs hardness of 10. Okay. Examine brooch. You admire the rich, much coveted pigeon blood, deep red hue of the ruby mounted in the brooch. Thanks to your loop, you detect faint rutile inclusions. But the gem is eye clean. That means the inclusions aren't visible to the naked eye. The inclusions are also called silk. Some of these faint lines might not be inclusions after all. They look a bit oily. Dust brooch. You rust some powdery soot onto the brooch, and you're shocked to discover not one, but 2 clear fingerprints. Lift prints from brooch. Carefully apply a bit of tape to the fingerprints on the brooch. Well done. Compare prints. You revealed the fingerprint on the tin of blasting cap. My father's in construction. Yeah. After comparing the fingerprint to your collection, you conclude, aha, as I suspected, this fingerprint belongs to Albert. Blasting caps are not standard mineralogist equipment. You've revealed 2 clear fingerprints on the ruby cabochon? Cabochon? Sure. You compare them to the fingerprints you've obtained from everyone in the lodge. One of these fingerprints belongs to Margot, which comes as no surprise. She admitted to stealing Nessa's brooch. The other fingerprint belongs to Jack? I should ask him about this. Alright. Sure. Okay. So that's probably everything. I should go in here. Okay, I don't see anything out of the ordinary here. I know, right? It just happens to work out that way. Okay, let's just do save over may be danger, just in case something wild happens and I go downstairs. So Jack and Nathan said that they were going to the carriage house to prepare the car, and I need to convince them to take me with them. And then everyone else seems to be just kind of scattered around. I should go back to the cellar again to double check if Margot's body is still down there. Yes, still there. Still dead, still down here. Okay. All right, so off to the carriage house. Oh! What's this? The double doors have been thrown wide open. You can see Ranger Murdoch and Jack inside the carriage house. They look nonplussed. Jack, what's going on? The automobile's gone, Nancy. I can see that. Someone must have picked the lock on the driver's side door and made off with it. The lock on the driver's side door, it's like a Model T. You could just climb over the door. Okay. I think Albert's stolen the automobile. You hear a rumbling. Is that thunder? Nope, that's Nathan. He went and got his automobile. Tell me what you know on the way. Time's a-wasting. Let's go. Right. It's going to be a bit of a tight squeeze and a bumpy ride. It's actually Evan's father's old car. I've managed to keep it running decently well, though the shocks are pretty stiff. Decently well. It'll be fine, Nancy. Just hang tight. Finally, some music. You all pile into Nathan's automobile and head for the mine. Mr. Cardinal, I'm sorry we couldn't meet under better circumstances. Oh man, that's a really old car. Okay. I understand your reluctance to be involved with the authorities. It's entirely justified. Evan's in danger. I will help my friend. We can figure out the rest later. I will safeguard you from any consequences of going off reservation, I promise. Let's deal with that later. I think Albert's stolen the automobile. You do? What makes you think so, Nancy? Albert's luggage is gone and his room is a mess. It looks like he left in a hurry. Albert had so much luggage and Jack said it was very heavy. It sure was. There's no way he could have handled all that luggage himself unless he took the automobile. I think he's driving it to the Sulaks to blow him up. I stumbled upon the confrontation between Albert and Kimi. He was furious with her. It was such a bewildering encounter. Kimi had a map. The Sulaks circled. I think that had something to do with Albert leaving so suddenly. Alright, this is also kind of a goofy sentence. So I will screenshot that one too. But this one could probably be reworked a little bit. He must have thought she was onto his sabotage plan, but Kimi told me she was interested in seeing the Sulaks as a tourist. He's not a Belgian mineralogist at all. He's a German spy. And his name might actually be Carl L. Carl L. Where did you hear that name? I found his telegraph tape and stick of dynamite in Carl's room. And a bullet and a blasting cap in the blue trunk where he was storing some of his things. I think Carl is highly knowledgeable about explosives, armed, and dangerous. Fantastic detective work, Nancy. I need to notify the appropriate authorities and follow up on this imminent threat. Oh, also, I think Albert's got a gun. He's been storing bullets in the blue trunk. And he's knowledgeable with explosives. He was storing the blasting caps and dynamite separately. I think you're dealing with a professional saboteur, one that's armed and dangerous. Got it. I'll keep that all in mind when we confront him, Nancy. Thank you. Please be careful. I will. I'll tell you how it goes when we meet again. Mr. Cardinal, could you please drop me off at the train station? I can send an urgent telegram for reinforcements. We'll have rangers at the Sulaks as soon as possible. Of course. But first to the Garnet Mines. They're closer. Good idea. Telegrams travel faster than any automobile. Albert will take some hours to arrive at his destination. Alright. Nathan stops his automobile as close to the Garnet Mine as he dares. The ground is rugged and any roads leading to and from the area have fallen into disrepair many years ago. A bit of stealth is imperative as well. It wouldn't do for Nessa and Corvus to be alerted to your presence. The consequences for Evan could be dire. You and Jack watch Nathan turn the automobile around to head for the distant train station. It's all up to you now. Okay, so it's still just... Okay. This kind of implies it's just up to Nancy. She's on her own there, but I guess Jack is with us too. Excellent job. Kudos on your thorough investigative technique. The mine entrance has been blasted shut. This can't be where Nessa and Corvus took Evan. Oh no, my theory is wrong. Nancy, wait a minute. This is the closest entrance to the mine. They were on foot. Not to mention, this is fresh rubble. Most likely they did use this entrance, but the entrance collapsed after them. Abandoned mines are dangerous places. We have to be careful. Chapter 6, Confrontations. How are we going to get in? I don't know, but I'm going to grab that shovel and start digging. Jack starts digging at the rubble at the mine entrance. I've got to help Jack with this. Game has auto-saved. Alright, this is probably a spot where you could potentially die again. Okay. Alright, I think this is a solid place to call it for tonight. My back is hurting me. Made some good progress here. We got the Chapter 5 complete achievement for this one. It seems things are finally picking up as far as progress goes. So it seems like there's multiple antagonists to this. So there's Nessa and Corvus trying to shake down Evan and potentially kill him for rights to the lodge, and I guess also the mineralogical rights to any diamonds found on the property. And then there's also the thing with Albert being a saboteur spy thing. I guess none of this really stacks up with like why Margot was killed earlier. So there might be like a third thing going on here with like maybe Jack killed Margot, because like why would Jack's fingerprints be on that brooch taken from Nessa, unless Jack's the one who stole it from Nessa and then gave it to Margot and then she hid it or something. I don't know. So there's potentially 3 different things going on here as well. I'm also not entirely convinced that Kimi is innocent. Like Kimi might be the mastermind for all this. I don't know. But looking forward to seeing how this plays out. We're probably in, if not the final stretch, then pretty far into it. I don't know. I'm not sure how much is left in the game, but I am still really enjoying this one. Looking to see how far it goes. And yeah, we'll have more of this next time. So as always, thank you for watching. And I'll see you next time. Take care.